Hi everyone, this is Yulianna Avdeeva here. I'm so excited to send you my greetings tonight from Stuttgart. So tonight, right now, I'm at the SWR radio studio and I'm very happy to be here. The reason I'm here is, as you have probably already noticed on my Facebook page, which I already shared with you, that I'm so happy to be here because this week, or these days, I have been rehearsing with SWR Symphonieorchester and Teodor Currentzis Prokofiev's Piano Concerto number 3, which we will be performing here in Stuttgart and later on also bringing it on a wonderful tour in Germany and Austria. So it's great joy to be here, great pleasure to share music on stage with other musicians, and I don't know, after so long months, of being a kind of also with being distant also on stage, and it's great to see you. I'm very happy. I hope you are doing all well. Hi Marek, hi Hubert, hi Alexis, hi Topol, hi Navar, hello Kate. Oh, I have to, you see, I have the white letters on the white background. I can't read them, so that's why I have to put my face onto the comments. Yes, hi Masako, hi Jerome, hi Maria, hi Marek and Hubert, and hi Royal Purple. So the Piano Concerto number 3 by Sergei Prokofiev we will perform here at the Liederhalle tomorrow and Friday night. The Friday night concert will be also streamed on the SWR Classic website, and the link for this stream, of course, I will share with you, and we'll be very happy if you will tune in on Friday to our concert as well. It will be broadcasted on October the 1st on the radio. And then we go on tour first to Vienna, to the Konzerthaus, where the concert there will take place on Sunday, September the 12th. Monday, September the 13th, we're going to perform at the Konzerthaus in Freiburg, and 15th of September in the Elbphilharmonie in Hamburg, and 17th of September in Bremen Glocke. So if you are by chance somewhere around, would be amazing if you will come and join our concerts. Hi Annelies, hello Stefano, hi Annabelle, hello Super Massa. Well, yes, so tonight I'm very happy to share some thoughts on the Prokofiev's third piano concerto. As many of you might remember that Prokofiev somehow is a very dear composer to me, the composer which I feel somehow very, with his music, I feel very strong connected, and it moves me a lot, the way he composed for the piano and for the orchestra, of course, everything which he composed somehow, I don't know, for me it's very moving music. And the third piano concerto anyway is an amazing masterpiece, maybe one of the brightest pieces of the 20th century, which is full of, you know, somehow full of boundless joy, of light. Of course, also very close, like very often in Prokofiev's music, very close with the very dark, very cold moments. And, well, I think that this concerto, well, it took Prokofiev a while to compose it. Well, he started to making some drafts apparently around 1913, but then he didn't use so much material from the original draft of it, but finally he finished it in 1921 and was himself the pianist who premiered it in Chicago. And there is an amazing recording of Prokofiev himself performing this piano concerto, which every time when I listen to it, it makes me so happy, because somehow, I don't know, it's great to witness his feeling of his own music, you know what I mean? And it's a great inspiration to have this recording, and I can only share my enthusiasm about it with you. So if you have, I don't know, if you have the time, please listen to it. It's really an amazing document. He was an amazing, fantastic pianist, and also this concerto, of course, the way it's written for the piano, it's really perfect. So, yeah, in this concerto, what is, I think, very somehow similar is that, you know, in this piece, in this concerto, he puts, like very often in his music, he puts big contrast. On one hand, those amazing melodic lines. For me, Prokofiev was one of the greatest melodies of the 20th century that probably no other composer, in my opinion, I mean, from his generation, probably was so the role of the medley was for Prokofiev really so important, very enormously important. And he also studied, of course, lots of Russian folk songs and everything, but he never quoted them. So it's all just only, it was only inspiration for him. And this is already very audible in the very beginning, which is amazing opening. Sabine, I was saying Shostakovich. I think Shostakovich, of course, he also composed some melodies, but never in this range, because the melodies of Prokofiev, if you think of some pieces from Romeo and Juliet, or from this piano concerto is also a good example, or piano sonatas, for instance, the beginning, the opening of the sixth of the eighth piano sonata. These melodies, they are amazing. They are somehow, you know, embracing the world. And Shostakovich is more, for me personally, he's working more with motifs, and Prokofiev is indeed in melodies. So this opening is already, for me, when I every time when I hear it, sounds well, it sounds maybe kind of banal, but it's my heart really, I feel a very special mood here, because it reminds me, in a way, on Russian landscape. And this type of landscape is flat, so you see kilometers away, you see just the fields, maybe some trees, but it's basically very flat. And then this melody comes. And the second clarinet is entering. This first introduction, this is the beginning of the piece, and we have already this, for me, maybe, you know, in this case, in this type of cases, Prokofiev, for me, very much is connected with the music of Mussorgsky, because also Mussorgsky was describing these magical worlds, and this is somehow, you know, before the sun rises, it's still a little sleepy nature, and this is indeed amazing how Prokofiev also managed to bring this mood in this phrase. Of course, also this why I'm also saying Russian melody, because this we have lots of fourths and fifth intervals, and all in natural minor. So this is indeed very typical Russian. And then immediately we have the new material, new episode, which is actually then, let's say, the main theme. And this is. contrast which actually could be achievable here on this place, because we have already this constant, a little bit obsessive, and at the same time this extremely energetic, motorical. So it's a great contrast which we have already here within those first, whatever, 10, 12 bars, something like this. And then the piano, for my personal feeling about the piano part in this concerto, or to say the roles between the piano and the orchestra, is that this concerto particular, the piano part is not really existing without the orchestra. So it's so well integrated. On one hand, they are not existing without each other, so they sometimes, of course, they are fighting, sometimes they are in dialogue, in exchange, but basically the piano part is a part, kind of a part of the whole thing. You know, it's not like solo and the orchestra is okay. No, that's definitely not this type of concerto. That's why it's so helpful also to feel also this. You know, even this rhythm if you want to hear, because otherwise. Joyful, very, heading the sky. So it's a great enthusiasm also, which I feel here. Then he changes the characters. So, by the way, just one more thought. This motif is, of course, very much So it's the same motive which Prokofiev uses in a completely different circumstances, which gives it already, again, completely different character. Then he goes very quick into this march like... A little bit arrogant, also kind of... and those syncopations, it's so full of diversity, the different characters, different colors, everything is actually here. Then he arrives after this kind of march, he arrives to the second theme, which couldn't be more different than the... It's very sarcastic. It is in a very, those dissonating chords, those accents are, like, I don't know, maybe. So it's grotesque in a way, with those jumps, those unexpected moves, and then I think he writes here, con effetto. Look, con effetto, which means with effect. Yam, tatim. That with a with a kind of also very clear ego, and then after this we have a new section, that's exactly also one of those sections where the piano part without the orchestra actually doesn't make so much sense. So it sounds like this. But this is, of course, gives us this link to the rhythm, to the character, which is a kind of maybe like tarantella, like taka 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 taka, very clear. And the orchestra has this material. So it is much easier knowing what the orchestra is playing here, much easier to follow also. to realize that this line in the piano is as well a kind of playing. It's the same line like in the orchestra, but of course somehow it's not very clear. For me, it's a little bit even scary moment. Also with this, somehow searching, being not really sure what is happening here. And then he makes great explosions here, and finally he arrives again in this. This is the only place when the piano plays this theme, which is so happy about this place. Was so excited because this is the only one time when the piano plays this theme. But it's always, the bassoon is playing it, and then the clarinet. So it's always again, it's a kind of polyphonic style, which is of course also for Prokofiev very typical. Then coming again to this first element, kind of recap, which is again the piano plays. Which is interesting here, which we're really trying out here to do as well. You see that Prokofiev doesn't write any crescendo here. So this dynamical change happens more in steps rather than in, like climbing one step and then another one and that. And this is, again, brings this, also his orchestration, because his orchestration also in this concerto it's never heavy, it's never massive, it's very transparent. You hear every single note. Then of course we have again this similar section with the triplets. By the way, in this section we also have this passage, which is apparently one of the few passages which Prokofiev took over from the first draft, which he composed in this concerto. And then you might remember my favorite, the return of the second theme, one of my favorite places, indeed I literally hear the sound of bones of skeleton. Also, of course, we have the castanet here. So this is very so full of character. I don't know. I hear those bones. So, however, the second movement is a theme with variations, and this theme, it's in andantino in E minor, which is kind of not so very close related tonality key to the C major, but we have here this theme, which is for me reminds me on a gavotte, the gavotte dance, which is actually Prokofiev uses it quite often in his music, and this is such a wonderful theme. know, for me, the music of Prokofiev is also brings me always to this kind of fairy tale mood. Maybe it's also connected with my first experiences of playing Prokofiev, because the first pieces by him which I have played was the small cycle with the name The Fairy Tales of the Old Grandmother. And those fairy tales were actually not really they were rather dark, with a really heavy mood. But somehow I think that Prokofiev's this moment of magic happens, well, I feel very often in his music. And also here, this is somehow maybe still a little bit unreal. And after, there is one element which will be returning almost after each variation, which is this, which is again this harmonic change, this plagal, I mean the subdominant, and then the main tonality. This is also very Slavic type of harmonic change. And then the piano enters here with a great scale. So we have a huge range of a scale, and this is also like, you know, I don't know, maybe some kind of the magic stick, new world. Variation already, and we have quite a big difference also in the harmonical change here. But basically in these variations, Prokofiev goes so far from the original theme, using sometimes also just the motives. In the second variation, for instance, we have again this very extremely motorical moment, this one here this is a clear link to the theme, but also in the piano we have those hidden polyphonic lines, like the later one, the favorite place with the big jumps. Well, however, there are, like again, like usual for Prokofiev, we have this hidden polyphony. The third variation is a new type of episode, new type of music. We have maybe a kind of jazzy, because those syncopations which have and the orchestra, so the piano is playing only the third bar, the piano and the orchestra plays at the same time on the first beat. So this is a very special, also very discriminating again. You see, you might remember that I'm always very sensitive to those tonalic music of Prokofiev, that in one hand we have one tonality, and in the left hand completely different. Then the variation number 4 is, well, it was very interesting, because I was somehow thinking in this variation also on this enchanted forest, which is rather when you know this fairy tale, rather dark moment when you don't know what is happening, and somehow it's all frozen. It's frozen, but it's it says andante meditativo. So meditativo is, of course, we have this because of this. A very typical element for Prokofiev music. He uses this also in Romeo and Juliet, for instance, or also in the slow movement of the second Prokofiev, of his second sonata. It's very typical. For I somehow connect this also type of music with time. So you know, like a clock, which is ta pa pa pa, which has no mercy in a way. It moves at the same. It's frozen on the same at the end. At the same time, it is moving forward, and you cannot stop. You cannot change it. And then we have here. It's fog, it's dark, we don't know where we go to. And in the end of this amazing passage in the third notes, we have freddo, which is of course a clear indication of the character also. There's, you know, he uses only the big thirds. That's what I mean. But it's not always good, but it's magic or magical. The next variation, fifth variation, is a new scene, completely different setting, and we have. So it's magic. You know, it's like, with those channel accents and dissonance, and then actually we do not recognize the theme here, maybe, but again, one of my favorite places in this concerto, as well as this section. It says energico, and this is such an enthusiasm, I don't know, but not in a sense, you know, in a kind of pathetic sense, but in a way I think that Prokofiev had such a belief in the good in the world, in the humanity, and the progress in the, because his music for me is very much also connected with the progress which he experienced in the world in the in the beginning of the 20th century, and I think that he had the strongest belief that this progress is important for the humanity, and he believed in it. And then we come back to the theme. So he finished the movement after those 5 variations again with the theme, but then we have a beautiful addition here in the piano. So the theme is still the same. And the piano plays like celesta. It's so beautiful. So again brings us to this, after this very energetic music, again within 2 bars after this energy we have diminuendo and pianissimo, and it's a really amazing change, which also being as pianist we have to achieve after this very enthusiastic music going back again to the childhood. Somehow maybe for me, this feeling of magical world, this fairy tale is also connected with the childhood because, yeah, it's like coming back, to the times when you believe in magical worlds. But I do think that Prokofiev really believed in those. The third movement is Allegro ma non troppo. Starts with a, well, for me, it also has a dancing character. For me, it's maybe a little bit a kind of waltz. Maybe, I mean, not a very obvious waltz, but still, these three have three chords and clear. And again, this natural minor, like in the first movement. Then, of course, this. Again, with a very eccentric way of writing. Yeah, especially the waltz I hear, for me, is very audible here. Maybe, I don't know, you might remember we were talking about Bogatyr. Bogatyr is a Russian hero, So they are very big, heavy guys, and maybe this is kind of, this kind of people which I somehow imagine here, who are also dance, and they also have had a joy in dancing. Yes, but the most special moment in this moment, maybe in the entire concerto, is this slow section in the middle. It starts first at the orchestra. Talking about long melodies, this is probably the best example. So it's we have a melody. I don't want to count it now, but it's longer than 16 bars, I think. It's never end. It goes on, and it takes over from different registers, and but this is just so amazingly beautiful, so moving. For me personally, absolutely moving moment. And this wonderful mood suddenly is interrupted by the piano, which comes in like this. Again, something is, Prokofiev puts those worlds which are actually not really connecting with each other, he clashes them. So they appear without any transition, without any preparation, and this, I think, this also what achieves this moment of surprise, moment of something unexpected. I hear here also kind of could imagine also some Mussorgsky scene, also from Boris Godunov, or yes, this is also very theatralic moment. And then again, without any change after. We come back with. Then it comes one more time, again in more enchanted mood. Here. Like silver lines on the sky. I don't know, maybe some. Yeah, it's so. It's so rich in in the fantasy. So amazing. Yeah, that's we started with the discussion about how Prokofiev, being a brilliant pianist, also used the piano, and I think he knew what to do with it. He literally, I think, used all possibilities of the piano, which he could come on. And in the final, in the coda, or in the recap, in the last part, we have again this clear. Piano. And again, also here, although orchestra is playing full, but it's never massive. It's very transparent. We hear so often the woodwinds. We have never this mass, and of course the favorite famous passages. It's fantastic. Yes, and that actually it grows and grows, but it really gets very loud only in the very end, and actually Prokofiev indeed takes only in the very, I think, last 8 bars. He puts also the trombones and all instruments, but until then it's a kind of lavine, maybe similar principle like in 7th Prokofiev sonata in the end, where it just moves you away with this amazing energy. So in the end again, it gets a little bit kind of even mechanical, because so it gets more more somehow machine-like, and this is this power which brings you away, and yes, in the end still we have this dissonance, which is brings it again in a way into this. It's very clear, and so this piano concerto is so amazingly rich on different type of feelings, on colors. It's so, I just like it so much, and yeah. I'm very much looking forward to my performances with the SWR Symphonieorchester and Teodor Currentzis. So we're having 2 concerts in Stuttgart at the Liederhalle tomorrow and on Friday night. Please tune in on Friday to our stream from the Liederhalle. I will, of course, share the link for the stream with you, and we'll be very happy to see you there in the stream. And then later on we go on tour to Konzerthaus Vienna on Sunday, September the 12th, Freiburg concert. In Freiburg we have a concert on Monday, September 13th, and Elbphilharmonie Hamburg on September 15th, and Bremen Glocke on September 17th. So if you are around, would be so nice to see you in the audience. So thank you so much for joining tonight. Please stay well, keep the good spirit, and I think, I think that this is indeed something special about, for me personally, that's how I feel about Prokofiev's music, that he had, I think he experienced also very different types of experiences in his life, but this belief in something good, I think that's what I feel when I hear and play his music. So enjoy music, stay well, see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye. Bye-bye.